Well guys, I know you've been waiting a long time for this video, and you know what you're watching, you clicked on it. The Skyline theory video. Now the Skyline I'm going to be using in this video is the Damascus steel version. I know a lot of you saw the teaser that I did probably, I don't know, 5 months ago, and I'm sorry I haven't gotten to it till now. But I want to talk to you not only about a little bit about the steel and the Damascus steel that they offer, but really the idea of the Kershaw Skyline and really what this knife has to offer you, because I believe that this blade, the Kershaw Skyline, not necessarily this model with the Damascus steel, because they have 3 different models right now that I'm aware of. They have the Sandvik model, they have the Damascus steel model, and then they have the S30V model. That the design of the blade, and I'm not talking so much the steel, is probably one of the best EDC design blades of all time, and I'm not joking when I say that. I think that this idea, what Kershaw has done overall with this blade, now there's a couple things that we'll talk about here briefly that kind of hurt it a little bit, and you have to do some aftermarket stuff, but it's pretty, easy to fix and remedy. But I think that Kershaw really, when they came out originally with the Skyline, really did it right, guys. I mean, there's just this theory of, if you own a Skyline, this is my theory when I say that, if you own a Skyline, you really don't need another EDC blade. Sure, you can get another EDC blade, but this is going to fill the need of like 99.9% of what other EDC knives can do. So with that being said, I'll get my mug out of the picture and we'll zoom in on this blade and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, guys, let's talk about the blade here and just the shape first off before anything else. And you can see here that it's got that fantastic spear point design. What really sets this apart, and again, this whole idea is EDC, not tactical, not wilderness. We're talking about EDC. This blade is on you 24/7. It's in your pocket on the way to the office, out to dinner, around the house, whatever, and that's its capabilities. It has that just great blade shape and that spear point design, really nice and thin with that really good precise tip there. It's fantastic, and to make it a great slicer, and then with the hollow grind on top of that is just phenomenal. And then that 3.1-inch blade is, I believe, the perfect size. It's not overkill, it's not this huge thing you got to kind of cumber with, and it's not too small and too short either. So I mean, I think the blade shape that they picked for this blade is fantastic for those really fine, kind of an extension of your body, almost finer opening, packaging, cutting, rope, maybe some mild food prep if you needed to, cardboard boxes, that type of stuff. It's going to do a fantastic job because of the way they have set up and picked the not only grind, the thickness of the blade, and the design of the blade is just phenomenal. All right, so let's talk about steels. And now I know for this particular model, the Damascus steel that you see in front of you is a big deal, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. We'll start off with the basic run-of-the-mill Sandvik steel that's out there. That's a very good U.S. steel that they put on there and produce. It's actually, I think, a Scandinavian, production blade, and then put together here in the U.S. to my knowledge. I could be totally wrong in that, but Sandvik steel is usually from Scandinavia. So the Sandvik steel that Kershaw uses is good. It's not like mind-blowing super steel by any means, but it's definitely a mark up over, HCR 13 MOV or AUS 8. It's a very good steel that will resharpen very easily and will hold a pretty good edge. I mean, you will resharpen it pretty regularly, but it'll be very easy to get a fine edge on it because it does have some high carbon in it. To my knowledge, from all the research that I've done, there's a little bit more high carbon than, say, AUS 8 or HCR 13 MOV in Sandvik steel. So then we're looking here at the Damascus, which I would say is kind of like the middle run of quality of steel. I think it's the coolest of all the steels that they're using right now with the Skyline, because it's got that awesome, Damascus wave. I mean, it's just so cool, stands out. I love the gray and the blacks and the waves in it. Just so awesome. Going to hold up really well. It is going to hold better at a better edge, I found, than my original Sandvik model that I had. The edge will be hold up better and hold longer edge retention. And it will resharpen very easily because it also has some high carbon in it. It's not a stainless steel, so it is very easy to get a hair popping edge on this thing, and it will hold a good edge a little bit longer than your Sandvik steel will, and it's freaking cool. I mean, just look at it, man. You could this Damascus steel version is one that you can just fondle and just look at all the intricacies and enjoy the blade that you purchase. Now, I picked this up for $50, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I was super blessed to get it for that price. Right now, and what I've kind of discovered is, I guess they do runs of these Damascus steel blades, and then they'll stop making them for a while, and then they'll make them again and stop making them. So the price point really fluctuates. Right now, when I was making this and when I was looking up the info for this blade, I realized that there are very few places that have it in stock right now, and the places that do, they're wanting like $100 or more. I would not pay $100 for the Damascus steel blade unless you love Damascus steel. You know, it's a good steel, but it's not some sort of mind-blowing super steel out there. The S30V version will hold a better edge than this Damascus, in my opinion. So that's just something to note. If you really like this Damascus, I would just hold off and just be patient. You may have to wait a year, or wait till someone like myself maybe is just kind of bored of it and wants to sell it real quick, and maybe you'll pick it up for a good price. But I don't know. I wouldn't pay more than about $50 or $60 for the Damascus steel blade, and I'm sure as time goes on, it'll come back in. And then finally, the S30V, like I mentioned, I think those run right around $100, and that is a great price for the knife. And if you are looking for super good edge retention, then and you know, you just use your knife constantly and you don't want to have to resharpen it as often, then obviously go with the S30V version. So guys, those are just some of the capabilities of the different steels that they offer with the Skyline. And final thing, I know a lot of people were curious, does it wear? You can see some very small wearing, and I do use this knife a lot, from like, you know, cardboard and plastic. Plastic packaging can sometimes kind of rub on it a little bit. It's never going to like wear away, but there will be some wear that you will find if you do use this blade on a regular basis. So last little thing I wanted to touch on, 3 different steels at this moment that are offered in the Skyline family. All right, the second part that really sets this knife apart from a lot of other EDC blades is the handle construction. They really thought out the handle. The first thing is that you got that really good G10, so it's going to give you really good traction. They have given you, which cuts down on weight. One side has a steel frame in it, the other does not. It's just G10. So that's going to really lighten the blade and give enough strength for the task that you would be calling on this blade to do. Again, this isn't cold steel recon. You're going to go try and, like, you know, decapitate a zombie or something. This is an EDC blade, so this is supposed to be lightweight. So it makes it very thin, very thin, so you're never going to feel it in your pocket, and it makes it at 2.5 ounces phenomenally light. So that is fantastic, but still gives you the traction. They give you the great finger groove right there for your index finger with the flipper acting kind of as a guard. Locks you really nice into place, keeps it really nice and simple. I like that there's no jimping. I'm not a huge fan of jimping, guys. The more I use knives, it's not a huge deal to me unless it is a tactical blade. And I don't need any sort of jimping. I'm really locked into place right here, so that's all good. And then finally, just how the handle is set up. I wear large size gloves, and you can see there I still got like a whole nother finger's worth on the back end. They've really designed this well for people that have either small hands, they can still get a really good grip on it, or people that have really big hands. You're wearing extra large size gloves, you're still able to get a really good grip on the knife and go to town and use your EDC tasks. So I think that that is a really big part of the knife. First, the blade, obviously, and how it was designed and the different steel options, but secondly is just the handle. I mean, the handle is a huge part of an EDC knife, and this knife just disappears in your pocket because of how lightweight it is, how slim it is, still gives you good traction, and it's very long. A lot of EDC, smaller EDC knives have really short, kind of weird, goofy handles sometimes. This one has a very classic drop, down the back, sweep. Just everything about the handle is perfect for your ergonomics, regardless if you got, medium or small size glove hands or you're rocking extra large. It's going to fit well, not only in the pocket, but also in your hands. All right, guys, I want to come to the one point about this knife. That stock right now, as of early 2015, sucks. And I really hope that this year, right now, Kershaw, I'm calling you out to do some modifications and design changes for the Skyline when it comes to the pocket clip. Now, above us, we have the Kershaw Camber. Great blade. Love that knife. And I think it's a sweet, sweet blade. Now, if you can see here, this has a loop over design blade. Came stock like that, pocket clip. Very nice, rides right up against the handle basically, tip up, only right or left carry. Fantastic. Zero complaints. This is one of the best pocket clips around on the Kershaw lines. That is fantastic. Love it. That is not the case with the Skyline. First off, the Skyline only offers it on the right-hand side of the knife for righties. There is no attachments right now for lefties. That's a big, downside to me. I mean, all those lefties out there can't purchase this knife or don't want to purchase this knife because it doesn't have that option to swap the pocket clip. So I'd love to see some holes over there for you lefties. Always looking out for you guys. The second thing is the way the pocket clip is designed. This is an aftermarket, and if you guys know anything about the Kershaw Skyline, you have been this whole time going like, whoa, where'd you get that pocket clip? I picked that pocket clip. That's a titanium-made custom pocket clip on eBay for about 20 bucks. They make tons of them for lots of different Kershaws and other knives, Spydercos, Benchmates, and this one one was designed for the Skyline, and I had to drop about $20, $25 on it. They have a bunch of different colors you can get from good guys out there on eBay that basically just make custom designed pocket clips. That basically, if Kershaw sent us this style that the camber has on the Skyline, I wouldn't have had to drop another $20. And I'm telling you, the ride sucks with the original pocket clip. It's a very, very high ride. Where the bolts have been set up is where there's almost 1.25 inches sticking up out of your pocket if you're wearing it tip up, which really sucks. Not quite as bad if you're carrying it tip down, but I hate carrying my knives tip down. So I'm really asking Kershaw, and I'm going to be sending Kershaw a link to this video. I would love to see in 2015, or maybe at SHOT Show 2016, when they're doing their new blades, that they release a new pocket clip design for the Skyline, offering just like the camber on either side, tip up, left or right, and a loop over design pocket clip very similar to the camber. That would make this knife ridiculously awesome with zero need for upgrade. I'm telling you though, right now, the way this Kershaw Skyline is designed, you will want to upgrade the pocket clip. It makes a phenomenal amount of difference, particularly if you carry tip up. It will absolutely revolutionize the way you carry your knives. So just go to eBay and search Kershaw, what's it called? Kershaw pocket clips, and if you're willing to drop about 20 bucks, you will not regret it, and it'll definitely help the ride on your Skyline. Well guys, it's time for us to kind of bring this video to a close, and there's a reason why I've kind of done a little bit different setup. You've noticed that if you've been watching the channel, haven't been doing my litany of ergonomic, quality and different, rating system, because we've been doing some different blades or blades that I've already reviewed before, and I don't want to just kind of do the wheel again. I want to kind of bring something new to the table for you guys, and I did. A lot of you have been asking me about this since I did the original teaser on the Damascus steel, so I hope I answered those questions for you, and you can ask me in the comments below if you have any more questions about the Damascus. I think it's just a cool level. Either the Sandvik model at $40 on Amazon all day long is phenomenal for what you're getting. USA made, that Sandvik steel. Now I think they have like a black wash for like $5, $10 more too, which is awesome. Just everything about the blade, the quality is so there with just the lockup, the liner lock, the steel, the handle ergonomics, everything about it, except for the pocket clip, as we talked about. I'm not gonna, rehash that, but that's kind of a big downside to me. But going back to the theory of a Skyline, for $40, guys, this is literally probably one of the best performing EDC knives on the market, hands down, full stop. I've reviewed a lot of them. I've gotten a lot of them in my hands over the years, and trust me, if you are looking for that EDC knife, again, not a wilderness folder, we're not talking about necessarily even a backpacker's folder. There are other knives that maybe be a little bit better for that. And I'm not talking about a tactical knife. I'm talking about a knife that goes with you everywhere and is able to do the EDC tasks phenomenally well, and at under $50 is ridiculous. And then they got the options if you want to upgrade, if you like your original design. So my opinion, I'd say go with the original Skyline. Maybe if you want to, step it up a notch, get the black wash coating now I think that they have, or whatever it is, kind of, liven it up a little bit. And then if you are super digging this knife, which I know you will, then look into maybe the Damascus steel blade, or maybe look in the S30V model, and you won't regret it. And yeah, so that's my theory, guys, is that this is basically the one folder to rule them all when it comes to an EDC knife. Yes, there are other knives out there that I love. My Delica 4 is a fantastic knife. I love that for an EDC blade, one of the best around, but it's gonna cost you more. You're gonna get very similar edge retention from what I've found. You're gonna get very similar cutting capabilities. The handle's actually a little bit better on the Skyline, in my opinion, just for how the ergonomics are set up. And it's got a faster deployment and just some different things like that. Not ragging on my Delica 4, it is still like right up there, right in line with the Skyline, but again, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, like $15 more, and basically do the exact same thing that the Skyline can do. And it's just, you don't have to drop $200 on an EDC knife to get something that's going to blow your mind. 40 bucks, 50 bucks if you want to go with the different coatings for a Sandvik version Skyline is going to be phenomenal, and then you can upgrade. So guys, I really hope that this just quick video has kind of helped you out with this Skyline theory. The theory is one blade to rule them all, so to speak. So yeah, hope that this video has helped you out with your purchasing decisions. If you've been thinking about Skyline, do it. You will not regret it. One of the best blades ever. Kershaw, calling you out. Fix the pocket clip, please. Love to see that in the very near future. And yeah, guys, thanks so much. Check us out on all the relevant social media. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. And as always, remember, stay equipped, Stay prepared. We'll see you out there.